Hi guys, and welcome to my Out of the Park Baseball 22 series here on YouTube. Yeah, so this is the sort of, I guess, my boredom that with the MLB and the MLBPA not deciding on anything really, to be honest. Yeah, and I thought in between, I want some baseball, and I'm sure whoever watches this is probably desperate for baseball too, because they're searching this far under YouTube. So, yeah, I thought I'd start off with a Miami Marlins up to date save starting at the 2022 season, as you can see. So I've spent some time going through and putting in the up to date free agent moves and all the transfers. So, for example, Scherzer's at the Mets as he is in real life on this ridiculous contract. Um, and some trades have gone down, specifically to the Marlins. Jorge Alfaro is now at the Padres. And yeah, so I've tried to do as much. I spent a lot of time meticulously going through, but I'm sure I missed something. So if there is anything, I will try and fix before we fully get into it here. But yeah, first thing I guess I want to quickly explain is the rules that I've got. So I'm starting out with no trading up until around the current date, which is the start of March. So try and keep it fairly realistic until then, because I don't know if you've ever played out the park, you know they can certainly make some interesting trades. But in terms of the free agents, that is now free to go basically. I've done everything as it is, but all the free agents available here are, or should be, accurate to modern day. Yeah, some of the posted players from Nippon Baseball in Japan. So you've got Seiya Suzuki somewhere down here. Here he is. You've also got Sugano, who also has been posted. So yeah, it should be all somewhat up to date. And I believe this guy is, yeah, he's a free agent, one of the fake ones they've created. So yeah, looking at the Marlins now, we have not got a lot of money to spend. In terms of, in fact, we've got nothing. So yeah, the reason I picked them is it's a challenge, I guess, and it'll be quite interesting. I think see what we can do in a short period of time, leading up to 2023, out of the park baseball 23. That is. In terms of some of the transactions I've made so far, it's not been many. In fact, none really, outside of what's happened in real life. In real life, the big signing for the Marlins so far is Avisail Garcia, which is one I'm quite excited for myself, because I'm a Tigers fan, and he used to be at the Tigers. Obviously, was a mini Miggy and didn't quite work out there, but has come on and turned into quite some player, to be honest, and was pretty decent last year. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do in Marlins. It's a hefty contract for a team with no money, but you never know, it could hopefully pay off. In terms of any other notable players, we've got Chisholm Jr., who's actually played, as you may guess from my accent, I am English, but he played in the World Baseball Classic, I believe, for England at one point. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's true. He is probably one of the better players the Marlins have on their active roster at the moment. Yeah, I'm looking for some good things out of him in the future. Brian Anderson, third baseman as well. He seems to be pretty solid, and on this game is very solid. Typically in previous seasons I've done. Joey Wendell's a new addition to the Marlins this year. He was traded, I believe, yeah, for Cameron Misner. So I'm a bit ashamed of that, because I did know about this guy a little bit when having played this game, and he can turn pretty good. And yeah, it's a shame. So potentially could look at getting him back, but not yet. Um, Lewis Brinson, kind of a weird player for me, because I always liked the idea of him, and I think he can be really good. But he's 27 now, and he's not really done anything. Yeah, he's actually may as well not have turned up, to be honest, half the time. But anyway, potential there. He can defend, I guess. He can catch a ball, so that helps. And then Jesus Sanchez. Used to be at the Rays, I believe. He's solid, I guess, but I think we've got Miguel Rojas in shortstop, an excellent defender, obviously, and I think he's only here for 1 year. Yeah. Ignore this. This is me trying to fix it all. So yeah, I think what we're noticing, and Jake Stallings, sorry, was the other trade that we picked up Stallings from the Pirates. Yeah, we lost Alfaro to the Padres, and obviously he's not really been that great, Alfaro, as they thought when he came over from the Phillies. So yeah, I think Stallings is pretty solid, big league defender, solid catcher. Nothing spectacular, but you can say that about the whole team, really. In terms of what needs upgrading, I think infield-wise we seem okay. We got two solid power first basemen. They're both kind of so-so, not inspiring, but they do the job. Infield, yeah, Chisholm, Anderson, Rojas, I'm quite happy with, to be honest, for a team with no money. I think defensively, very solid, and then, yeah, offensively, I think that's potentially the big issue with this whole team on the offensive side. And then outfield is potentially where I'd look to pick up some free agent signings. So I have done a bit of investigation, and I have put in a few offers. Quite a few of these are all minor leagues, in fact. This are a few guys I noticed that looked sort of interesting that I just put minor league deals on, but they don't really mean much. Lewis Head, I don't know why he's here, because he should be here anyway. And then Jose Tabata, used to be at the Pirates, I believe, years ago, yeah. And he went to Mexico, maybe? I think so. So, yeah, he looks decent, I guess. Should really be scouting him. And yeah, I guess there's a little bit of something off the bench. I mean, he's got nothing in terms of home run power, but maybe something. It would be interesting to see. Got a good defensively, decent bit of speed. And Bryce Brents was the other guy who's got pop, but nothing really else. And it's something. I guess at this point we're scraping the barrel here of what we can have that's going to actually help. So. Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Looking in terms of the pitching, this is where it kind of gets a bit exciting for the Marlins. Obviously, Trevor Rogers, rookie of the year, one of the runners up in the NL for rookie of the year last year, was obviously won by India of the Reds. But I mean, it's a ridiculously good season for him as a rookie. So yeah, I'm expecting more of the same this year, and I think he's going to be the ace for a very long time. Pablo Lopez, yeah, very good pitcher. Very solid. Had a very good year last year. If we can stay healthy, I guess we're looking at a very solid one too there. Sandy Alcantara, also another good pitcher. Also had a very solid year last year. Lost a lot of games, but that's not his fault. And obviously it doesn't really mean much. In terms of his peripheral stats, yeah, I think he. What am I looking at? He looks, yeah, he was pretty solid. FIP's a bit high, but that is obviously just going to be helped by the fact we've got a very solid infield. But no, he's exciting. Then we've got Jordan Holloway currently in at 4. Pitched a little bit last season. Don't know too much about him, but he looks pretty solid. The controller's a bit alarming, to be honest. I'm just going to check with that. But yeah, given that he's got walking 6.5 or 9, it's, I don't know, something to watch out for. And Jesus Luzardo, a guy I really liked when he was at the A's, but kind of had issues last season, and it was a shame because he looked like he had the potential to be something really good, but maybe something he can find back. And I do want to keep him in the rotation all year and help him develop, because I think, we're not really going to do much this season, and it's worth having that kind of potential for them to grow. Braxton Garrett is also another very good. He's actually ranked 96th in terms of prospect ranking. Yeah, he was drafted 7th overall in 2016 by the Marlins, and yeah, I think he's potentially got a really good chance to be a starter for us pretty soon. I mean, he was not great last 2 seasons, but neither was the team, and I think again he's maybe someone who could benefit from a bit more time in the rotation. So I think he might be potentially there instead of Holloway. We'll have a look. In terms of other relievers, we've got Richard Blair, solid last year, very solid. Austin Preet, again the same. Floro and Zach Pop as middle relievers. So and then Anthony Bender as a specialist. He was also very solid. Yeah, in terms of how I'm doing, I am just a GM, so I'm going to keep the manager, Don Mattingly, to sort out the lineups, and it gives it more of a challenge to kind of based on who you're hiring. I may occasionally force people into certain positions if I think they should. For example, if I want them to force them as a starter, but I don't really like doing that for pitchers because they end up just going as their ace, and I don't know. I think Garrett needs potentially just some innings, so we'll see as we get closer and if there's any moves to be made there. But to be honest, pitching wise, it's not awful. It's not as bad as it looks on compared to when we look at the offense. Looking at some of the big free agent signings that have happened since I kind of let them go free a little bit, I guess. There was Nick Birdie's gone to the Dodgers for 3 years. David Price has gone back to the Dodgers. Artie Lewicki has gone. He's a former Tiger, so that's why I pick him out. Luis Perdomo, former Padre, has gone to the Cubs. But yeah, nothing hugely. Juan Castianus to the Red Sox. Besides that, yeah, not a huge amount. Freddie Freeman yet to land anywhere. I don't think it'll take long. I don't think he'll come to us either. But you can dream. So yeah, Dodgers I think is potentially where he's going to end up. They always seem to get the best. And Lance Lynn obviously finished 3rd or 2nd in Cy Young award winning. I tried to do all the correct awards, so they should all be. Nick Castianus, my personal favourite player. Again, unfortunately not going to happen for us, but yeah. I will now sim ahead a bit, and then I'll come back to you if anything interesting happens in the off-season. So we're actually at the Rule 5 draft, and I thought before I did that I'd quickly show you the prospects in the system that we've got going. So the top prospect for us is Max. I'll use this system actually. They've in the new, not new I guess, but if I look at the Marlins, we've got that's the Tigers. That's not the Marlins either. Here we go. So our top ranked player is Max Myers, 12th overall, 9th overall. Apologies. He's going to be very good. He's set as a two-way player in this, but I don't really see much happening on the offensive side. So yeah, he's going to be a pitcher. He's a very, very good player. I'm sure many of you know he was drafted 2020. Yeah, when he actually signed. And yeah, he's probably going to see some action this year. I mean, depends how desperate we get. We might want to see. I want to see how he gets on at Jumbo Shrimp. But if he starts performing and we've got nothing else, it might just provide some excitement as we go 50 and 112 or whatever it's going to be. So yeah, Khalil Watson is our second ranked prospect. Again, very good looking prospect. 20, yeah, he was picked up in last year's draft. He does look very good, and he looks like him potentially. You know, you have him in the middle of the lineup with in the middle of the infield with Chisholm and maybe Anderson. He's like a long-term, maybe Rojas replacement. Potentially, kind of profiles as a shortstop, I guess. The arm is potentially slightly underpowered. I don't know. We'll see how it develops, but I'm sure he'll get reps at both. Um, and I'll try and get him as much. Jazz Chisholm is there, but I don't really think he won't be a prospect to the end of this. With Joe Mack is our fourth or third. He's an interesting catcher. Looks pretty solid on the bat, but behind the plate doesn't look so great. Maybe a first baseman in the making for Joe Mack, but we'll keep him as catcher and we'll see what he can do. He's only 19. He won't be anywhere near the big league for a couple of years. So yeah, we'll see how he develops. We might get him out of the rookie league and get him into some single A ball. We'll see closer to season. Cody Morris. Of course, it's just OSA's ratings of all of our prospects, but he looks pretty solid infielder across the board really. He looks like a Marcus Simeon to me almost, where he used to be, kind of just very solid everywhere. But obviously Simeon's kind of gone to the next level now. But no, he looks pretty solid. He's down as a third baseman here, but again, that arm is kind of worrying me in the range. So yeah, his second base is probably where you'll see him. And I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's 21. He's been playing for it was just picked up last season actually. So a couple of years of development, and we'll see. Braxton Garrett obviously on there, but he won't be for much longer. Eury Perez. He looks pretty good. The control's worrying, which I don't like seeing in this game. But no, he looks like a pretty solid pitcher. He's at the Beloit Snappers, which is one of the better minor league names for sure. And I love their logo. But yeah, he looks good. We'll see how he develops. He's only 18. Jose Devers, second baseman, another infielder. We've got played a bit at the big league club, and he's kind of got the hitting maybe to be all right there. Defensively, yeah, I'm not really sure where he fits. I think a second baseman is probably what he's going to be, but he needs to build up his experience there. So for sure, having him down at the Blue Wahoos maybe will help him out. Dax Fulton is ninth, I think, maybe. He's a pretty solid pitcher. I'm liking the look of his pitches, but his overall stuff and control is maybe a bit low, but we'll see again how he develops. Get him scouted as well, because they're all very low accuracy, so it's worth getting him done. Yeah, he was picked up last season, 2020 actually, out of Mustang. Yeah, he looks good. Edward Cabrera, he's played in the bigs. I've seen him pitch. Yeah, he will. I believe I've just added him in fact to the 40-man again, so he will be seeing big league club action this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty soon. These stats do worry me a little bit, but he's got that elite fastball. I think he was throwing 100 last season. I might be wrong, but no, I'm kind of excited for him, to be honest. Nasim Nunez. Don't know anything about Nasim, but he can't hit for shit. So he can defend though. So we've got a potential defensive replacement, and you never know. He might develop, but yeah, I think the Hammerhead's where he's going to be for a while. He's essentially at the big league club. JJ Bleday, this is the guy that when I think of the Marlins, I'm sort of most excited about him and Peyton Burdick. But no, JJ Bleday is he was taken in the 2019. I believe was that Riley Green or was that Torkelson? I think it was Riley Green. But yeah, he is very exciting, and I think he's someone who can maybe. I mean, he's 24. He's quite old, but he hasn't really played. Yeah, above single A, has he? No. I'm not sure what he did last season. I think he may have been injured, but we'll see. He will probably start his season out at AAA, but he will be coming up soon. And I think he was added to the 40-man as well. But yeah, I think he was someone it was going to be exciting. And then we've got a couple of more: Jake Eder, Jose Solas, Victor Mesa Jr., Victor Mesa. I like the brothers. And then Idi Kappa was an international signing. He's a pretty solid third baseman. Potentially, again, needs some work on his defence, but his offensive stats look pretty decent. So I'm excited for Yudi Kappa, and then another notable is Peyton Burdick, who I believe MLB Pipeline have him down actually as the number one prospect on the Marlins. He's a bit of a slugger. He's again, to be honest, I think he can be up pretty quick. He's 24 almost, so sorry, he's almost 25. So yeah, he's someone who's potentially going to be up pretty soon. Him and Bleday, which to be honest, I was saying before about how we're lacking outfield. We have some young guys coming through, so people like Monte Harris and Magnus Sierra are probably going to be gone pretty soon. So we'll see how injuries play out. I do have the injury setting on high. Where is it? It is somewhere here. Either way, doesn't matter. I have it on high, so it's here it is. Sorry, realistic modern day. So we are going to have those issues to deal with, which is kind of good, to be honest. So yeah, let's get to the point of what I was trying to do, which was the Rule 5. So looking just at our top prospects, we've got Ray Patrick Didder, who I believe came over this season. He's can play everywhere. Badly, really, is the answer there. But I think no one's going to take him. And if they do, I'm not going to cry. What are we looking like on our 40 man? I may throw him on there just in case we have an outfield issue, because he's got some speed. But yeah, I don't really mind if he comes or not, if he stays. Gerard and Encarnacion, again, he's not going to be taken, so I don't think I've got to worry. Jake Fishman, he looks actually quite solid reliever. Never played above AAA. Well, really, he had a very solid the North New Hampshire and the Blue Jays org. So I think someone to keep an eye out for sure. And I will actually add him on here just for the sake of keeping the Connor Justice. Not really fussed if he goes. Marcus Rivera again. Sorry, not Rivera. Chris Torres, Corey Bird, Bryson Brigman. He's a pretty solid second baseman. I'm going to add him on there so we don't lose him. Yeah, Alberto Guerrero is advanced day. Luis Madero, Cody Petit. He was up in the big league. He's a very solid pitcher, so oops, I do not want to create a note. I'll add him to secondary because I think he potentially could be one of the first men we call upon for some bullpen help. He wasn't great last season, but it's not much competition at the moment in the Marlins team, so I will remove him from the shortlist because that will annoy me. And in terms of the rest, I don't think we have anything to worry about. So let's do the draft. Let's have a quick look and see who we've got. We've got Moises Gomez. Oops. I thought that is a Visayel Garcia. That is a bit of a shocker from me. I shall just sort this out if we want to sec. Not quite sure what happened there, but that's because I was trying to sort out all the contracts before. Anyway, we've got to our point, and in terms of what actually happened, they took Aguiar because that was something when I was adding his contract I messed up, but I've put him back onto the Marlins, so no harm, no foul really there. In terms of who we want to take, we're being recommended Trey Barrera, the catcher. I kind of like this. He was fairly solid for the Nationals, and he can really catch. And in terms of who we've actually got there right now is backup to Stallings is Alex Jackson, who I'm not really that sold on. So I don't mind the thought of that. Braden Bishop's another interesting one. Colin Poche is on there, but I believe he's not. So Poche is quite an interesting one because he's a very solid reliever. Mika Adolfo is on there as well. I'm not going to go too mad on this. That's not Jason. I'm not going to go too mad on this because I know it can be sometimes a bit weird at the start. So, but Braden Bishop is interesting. But I think Trey Barrera might be the player we go for. And then I think that's all we're going to do for now. And I think, yeah, it'll be quite interesting. In terms of the other, Franklin Barreto was taken by the Tigers. The Angels let him go. Daniel Robson went to the Rockies. Higgins to the Guardians. Oh, by the way, I have fixed them to be the Cleveland Guardians and not the Cleveland Indians. So yeah, that's now accurate. Jake Bowers went to the Braves. Interesting, the Braves are picking him up as maybe their solution to no Freddie Freeman. It's a bit of a downgrade, but it works, I guess. So yeah, that is the Rule 5 draft. So I will continue simming till we get up to opening day. So some big news coming out of Los Angeles. Freddie Freeman has signed with them, as we might have expected, and I think is potentially going to happen in real life. 5 year, 122 mil. To be honest, not as much as I thought he would be signing for, and I think he potentially signs for more in real life. But yeah, I mean, what the epitome of consistency in terms of production from Freddie Freeman. He's a hell of a player, and he's potentially on his way. If he has 5 good years at LA, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. Also, another big news is Lance Lynn, runner-up in the Cy Young last year, has gone to the Braves, obviously the champions. So, I mean, it's a good pickup. It's a very good pickup, and it's $80 million over 4 years. Pretty reasonable cost for a top 3 pitcher from previous year. And then, I mean, their rotation now is H.G. slots in at the ace, and Soroka's out with an Achilles injury for 3 months. We didn't know, but Fried, Anderson, Miller, they've got a very good pitching staff. And then obviously their hitting is a bit injured, obviously, with the lack of Freddie Freeman and that weird Jake Bowers replacement idea. But you never know, it might work out. But I think the Braves will still be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. So yeah. And then in terms of our signings, we've signed Elijah Celaya, who's not going to amount to much, and Saul Fortuna. A similar story, although he's a very good defender and has got some interesting stats, so we'll see how they get on. Yeah, I'll carry on simming. A couple more signings have been made, and we've got to the Hall of Fame voting results. Jose Tabata and Bryson Brents have actually signed with us on minor league deals. So yeah, 2 potential outfield replacements, both going to be living around AAA and then maybe be called upon if needed. Charlie Morton's gone to the Giants for about $13 million a year. He was obviously champion last year with the Braves. Had a very solid year, very, very, very solid year. And he's a great pitcher. It's a good signing for the Giants, who have a very solid staff now with Carbon, Wood and Desclafani, and have kept some big hitters in Belt and Crawford. And Buster Posey, did he not retire? I do apologise about that. I thought I'd dealt with Posey there, but yes, he's now gone. So he's retired. So no, they still have a pretty solid lineup. Potentially not the 107 win team from the season before, but maybe something that they can produce. Colin Hughes signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitched in Astros last couple of seasons. Very, very good pitcher on this game. So yeah, he was at the Rays, apologies, last season. He's going to be a very, very solid pickup for the Pirates. So also are looking to kind of bounce back, I guess, from their shocking season. They've got Zach Thompson from us. He came over in the Stallings trade. And they got Brian Reynolds, who is excellent on this game. Very good player, as he is in real life. Brian Hayes, very good defensive and power threat, of course. Third baseman. Just a good, solid young team they have. And yeah, I think it's potentially quite... The future's a bit brighter there in the Pirates. It hasn't always been the easiest team to watch. They haven't won many games and haven't made the playoffs since 2015. So yeah, I think it's a bit more of an exciting time there. In terms of any other trainings, Jimmy Nelson's at the Guardians for 8 million over 2 years. He's a reliever now on this game. When he went to Dodgers, I forgot about that. Trevor Story's another big signing for a lot less money than I think he will in real life again, but it's pretty it's all right for the Cubs. It's their Javier Baez replacement, and he's a very, very good player. Had a very good season last year in the Rockies. Be interested to see how he transitions permanently away from Coors Field, but I think makes sense for the Cubs. In terms of Hall of Fame, A-Rod's there, Bonds and Clemens aren't. I don't know what everyone's view on whether they should be in it. Kurt Schilling's a weirdo. I don't really agree with that. Pappy should be a first ballot. That's stupid. He was in real life, wasn't he? So I think Clemens and Bonds, at least Bonds for me, should be there. And I think if you say one, you should have the other. But yeah, A-Rod's in there. I think that's fair, to be honest. He was a very good player. Sammy Sosa's out. I mean, he's also not white, but anyway. I will carry on filming. Another little round of free agents have signed. So Schwarber's gone to the Guardians on a... I don't actually know what he's gone on. He has gone on a 4-year, $64 million deal. Schwarber's an interesting guy again. He had a good year last year, but then the year before he didn't, and it'd be interesting to see how he gets on in Cleveland. He's got the power, there's no question there. Playing left field for the Guardians, so I guess that fills a need for them. With the front room, Reyes DHing now. I think they've got a good team, the Guardians. I think they can potentially push the White Sox in that division. They won't be pushing my Tigers because they won't be anywhere near there. Hector Santiago's gone to the Giants, another pitching signing over there on the West Coast. He's a good solid reliever. He used to be a starter, did he not? He did for the Angels and the Twins for a bit. Transitioning to the closer role for the Giants, so we'll see how that goes. My boy Nick Castianus has gone back to the Cubbies, where he was so truly adored for that half a season he was there, and he hit very, very well for them. He's gone back, and he's gone for $75 million over the 4 years. He's never really done amazing in this game when I've done previously, which hurts me quite a lot inside, but I think it's a good signing. It's always interesting him going to an NL club when he can't really defend. I don't know if anyone's watched him, but it is kind of worrying. I'm sure you have watched him. He's a very good player. How he'll fit in DH is not worldwide at the moment, league-wide even. Might be something I introduce at the end of this season. Let me know. Obviously, it depends on what the MLB and MLBPA come to, if they ever come to an agreement, which probably won't happen for the next couple of years at this rate. He's going to slot in at the clean-up hole. Schwindel, another Tiger, ex-Tiger, but I might got that wrong. Anyway, I'm digressing. They've got a very solid hitting and pitching with Stroman leading the line. So, missing Chris Bryant, I guess, but they have some good young talent there, so looks good. Right, I shall carry on. So we come back with a financial update that we've got 93 million to spend, and we're using about 104. So we are slightly over budget, which I'm trying to get under. But to be honest, it's not really the end of the world. I may look at selling some of these players at the deadline if it's looking desperate, as I think it's going to. Rojas on a fair bit as well, so not really the end of the world. In terms of development update, we had a very good update for Blede. He's looking like he's on the up, and that is good to hear. Dida's gone down. Cabrera's also gone up a little bit, as has Joe Mack that catcher probably turning first baseman. In terms of any more signings, Nelson Cruz has gone to the Dodgers for 1 year, a 41-year-old who is still a very, very good hitter. He's going to be a solid option off the bench, I imagine, for them. With that lineup, I don't think he's getting in the starting lineup, but I mean, to have the option of Nelly Cruz off the bench, it's a luxury not many teams can have. Michael Pineda's gone back to the Yankees after his brief stint in the Central with the Twins. He's very solid pitch. He's just a bit average, I guess, but I mean, looking at those stats, he's potentially better than average, and I think it could be quite an interesting signing. Of course, I don't know what the state of Severino is. He's healthy again, so they have that very good 1-2 punch, and then Montgomery, Taillon still there. Well, it's the Yankees, isn't it? You're always going to be Joey Gallo, the strikeout home run king. You go, and then Jason Dominguez, very, very, very good player. And he's very understated in this. He's a bit of a unit, I think, in real life. Bryant has signed with the Red Sox, which is a big move. 4 years, 70 million. I love Bryant. I think he's a great player. I really do. And I think he's gonna hopefully do well for them over there. That is quite an aggressive 2-5 kind of hitting lineup. Playing left field, as they've got Bogart's playing third and Devers at first. What about Chavis? Not there anymore. No. So they've got Franchi Cordero as well. And they obviously got Jackie Bradley Jr. back this season from Milwaukee for the guy who used to play for the Padres, Hunter Renfroe. So they've got, and they still have Verdugo there as well. I think they'll want more from Verdugo this season, but we'll see. Trevor Rosenthal's gone to the A's, and Iwazaki has gone, who's come over from the Hanshin Tigers, I believe, in Nippon. Yes, Nippon baseball. Very, very good reliever by the looks of it. Be interested to see how he does in America. And we're at pre-season, so it's a month till we get into some spring training. I lie, it's not. It's less than that. What is quite interesting, I'm actually losing out on Dalton Pompey, the former Blue Jay center fielder prospect. I'm losing out to Southern Maryland of the Atlantic North Division. He used to be at the Angels, Jose Pujols, didn't he? I believe he did. No, the Phillies. So it is about how bad the Marlins are now that he'd rather play for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs than he would for the Miami Marlins. So interesting there. Another glut of signings. Michael Conforto has gone to the Nationals. 16 million over 2 years. Good signing for them. Obviously got Soto out there, but yeah, I think he'll fit right in the Nationals. By supporting him, then another big signing, Clayton Kershaw, has gone to the Rockies. I'll be very interested to see where he actually ends up in real life. But for 4 years, 16 million, the Rockies. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. John Gray, they lost John Gray this season to the Rays, I believe. I may be very mistaken. The Rangers, apologies, who made a lot of signings actually. So him and Herman Marquez are going to be leading the pitching rotation here. They have some interesting. He's linking back up with AJ Pollock. They have some interesting players there. He's just, I believe, signed with them. Yeah, for 4 years, 54 million. So the Rockies making some moves here to try and not be awful in a division that is very, very strong. So it's very tough for them. Yeah, there's the Pollock deal we just saw. And Carlos Correa, the final one of the big three middle infielders left, or he's right down here as a third baseman, has gone to the Yankees. 108 million over 6 years. Again, it's a bit low, I think, on what he's actually going to sign for. Given Corey Seager went for 300 and something million, 25 to the Rangers. So, yeah, it's a good signing for them. He's a very good player. Kyle Holder is preferred at shortstop. Not quite sure about that, given Correa is actually a really good defender, but maybe a bit underrated in this. But the Yankees are doing Yankee things. And Dalton Pompey has not actually signed with whoever the hell he was talking about. He's gone to the Seibu Lions in Japan, so good luck to him. Smaller signing, but a guy I really like. So what he does for charity and things like that is Anthony Rizzo. Gone to the Twins, 15 million odd for 2 years. He's still quite young, to be honest. Obviously was at Yankees, last season. And yeah, he's gonna come provide some experience to the Twins, who have Akil Baddoo, interestingly. I may change that. I think that's a problem with the Rule 5 thing at the end, because I don't think the Tigers would be giving him up. Yeah, they've got a young team, and they're not too removed from that season when they went 101 and 61. So yeah, a very big down year last year, but maybe time to rebound. I'm going to fix that Akil Baddoo thing now. Also, Keone Keller went to the Dodgers. Spring training is here. Quickly, we'll have a look at any big free agents still here. There's this guy Alistair Blackwell, who has come over from the Australian Baseball League, and I don't think he would typically be rated this high, but it's quite interesting to have someone who's 34 come over and maybe add a bit of a different dynamic. Seiya Suzuki is still a free agent. If we go here, we can actually see if anyone is interested specifically in him. Blackwell, there's some interest there. Carlos Rodon is still available, and he had a very good year last year in the White Sox. I'm surprised they haven't re-signed him, actually. Brian Flynn, don't know who he is. Again, another ABL guy. Seiya Suzuki's got some interest in Baltimore, but also in Hiroshima and Yomiuri Giants. Donald Lutz, another ABL guy. Yeah, he is a German-American, actually. I'm not sure quite how he's getting that much, but I don't think he's actually going to get that. And then any other main ones: Freddie Galvis, Donovan Solano, Jose Iglesias. But besides that, not really anyone of note. In terms of the roster for the spring training, I'm going to sort out now, and I think this will bring this episode to a close. And next episode will be preparing the roster for the spring training, doing spring training, and then potentially breaking the roster down for opening day. So thank you all very much for watching, if you did. I appreciate it. In terms of when the next video will be out, I want it to be out tomorrow, but it's very much feeling it out at the moment. So if you did enjoy it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know, I guess. And I hope you all have a good day. Cheers, bye.